everyone. I'm Kathleen, and tonight Larry Evans and I are here with Jess Barbour. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. I usually start out by trying to remember when I met the person, and I remember, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but like Patrick got hired, and then I saw you a lot. Which was a fabulous thing, you know, and that's all I remember is that you were there doing lots of things like teaching and choreography and directing things. And so how did you come to RLT?
Well, I actually took classes there when I was in high school.
No way.
I particularly remember taking a class with Allison Lawrence where we learned songs from Your Good Man Charlie Brown.
Wow.
And I was Patty.
Oh, nice. Of course you were.
And then went off to college, came back, and that's when I started to get more involved with Raleigh Little Theater as far as with Divas, and then with Cinderella. And yeah, and I guess you can't get rid of me there, and I'm gonna
I love that.
As long as I can come back.
Fabulous addition. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Larry, do you know how you met Jess? Or
it might have been at NRAC. I'm trying to think the first time. I know when the first time I saw you on stage, but I guess I met you when you were running things at NRAC and stuff.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, because you were doing the show with Ryan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Afternoon on the 23rd floor.
Yeah.
And then we were trying to, Sid and I were trying to produce a one-woman show at your company at the time, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you first get the acting bug? Was it in school, or were you acting like at age 3? You know.
I was the little woman who lived in the shoe in our preschool production, and my mother has a video of me spanking the doll. So I was that, and then I was a flower in another one of their productions, and I started taking dance when I was 3 and did recitals every year. And then when I stopped taking dance classes, probably around 12 years old, I went right into theater.
That's so great. Wow.
So what was it? You went to school. What's the first show you were actually in? Not the grade school, but maybe after high school, where people had to pay to come see you in the show, not just your parents.
Right out of college, I did the Best Christmas Pageant Ever tour, and so I was touring all over the Southeast with that company, and we were doing a lot of school shows, which was nice because we would perform during the day, and then we would all have our nights off.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love that. Did you just have one part? I don't know how they do that when they tour.
I was both Beth and Imogene.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
There were only six of us, I think 7 of us in the cast, and we played multiple roles, which was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
We had such a great group of people, too. So we're laughing backstage and just changing our costumes as fast as we can and going out. It was a comedy show.
I bet. I did that show at RLT and played the mother, and I felt like that I never left the stage, you know, and I was kind of glad about that, because the one time I did go off, there were 12 baby angels backstage waiting to come on. They were like literally 4 years old. And I was so glad to be able to go back on stage and not have to wrangle them or anything, you know, but it's a great show. It's
one of my biggest regrets is it was like 25 years ago. I was in Chapel Hill, and I don't even remember who the people were, but they were wanting me to join a children's acting group where we go around and tour different schools. And I thought, children's theater, come on. And then I had so much fun the times I've done Kathleen shows.
I know.
Like when the kids want to meet you after the show. I mean, you are the biggest rock star.
Right.
It's the best.
It certainly is. Oh. So did you have a mentor at any time in your career?
Well, I was taking voice lessons with Allison Lawrence, and Vinnie Jenna was my acting coach. And I loved going to acting class. We had a group that was always taking any class, no matter where he was. We would follow him around to wherever he was teaching, and we would take his classes. And I learned so much about the business side too, because Vinny was always so open and honest about his own experiences, and it was never something about just being an actor, but it was about, if you're really serious about this, then this is what it's like, and this is what you're going to have to do.
That is, he's wonderful. And I was in a show with his daughter at Raleigh Little Theater, and that was really funny. And he was so not a stage parent. Like he just removed himself from the process totally and let her do it all. And the mom occasionally, Eileen would come in, but he definitely did not want to be that, which was so fun. Have you ever gotten great advice from anyone about either acting or choreography or directing?
I think Vinny was the one who told me that you may go on 50 auditions and be lucky to land one, and it has nothing to do with you or your talent and everything to do with what they're looking for at the time. And I think that's something that served me well in this business, especially doing film, because you just get auditions that you send off and you never get feedback. Sometimes you do, you get lucky to get feedback, or you get a call back and you go, okay, I did something right. But but you can't put your self-worth in whether or not you book something. I mean, it still stings when you don't get it, but it can't be your whole life. It can't be your whole identity, because then you lose yourself. So I'm very thankful for that.
Great advice.
Yeah.
I remember years ago I was in Wilmington, and I won't tell any more stories after this.
No, we love your stories, Larry.
I was helping producing this commercial for flea collars, and the woman I was working with at the TV station was beautiful and a great actress, and she auditioned. And I asked Dusty why he didn't cast her, and he says, because I can light the other actors better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Can't help that. Wow.
I was one time that I didn't get a role because I looked too much like the director's ex.
You can't help that either. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, there's sometimes I see somebody on Netflix, an actor's like, God, I don't like that character. It's like, oh, because she reminds me of somebody.
Right.
Speaking of actors and actresses, do you have a favorite theater or film actor?
I grew up loving Robin Williams. Mork and Mindy was the reason why I would ask my parents, like, I want to do this. Can I go to acting classes? And I loved that show. Now it's Sarah Paulson. Like, everything that she does is so fabulous, and she plays so many different characters.
Yeah.
That would be the opportunity of a lifetime, to just have Ryan Murphy in your back pocket going, oh, do you want to play a character like this now? Great, sure, yeah, absolutely.
Well, they might need a younger version of Nurse Ratched in season 2.
Hire me now.
I thought the show was so good that I just want to watch Cynthia Nixon and Sarah's, just their characters. So.
Wow. Have you ever had a really bad audition that you'd like to share with us?
Sure. I would say it was one where I wanted it so badly that I over-prepared, and I did the thing that I tell all my students not to do, which is to memorize it. Like, I knew exactly how I wanted it to go, and so I did that first read, and it was amazing. It was fabulous. And then the director spoke up and gave me direction, and in my head I was like, I know what they're asking. I know what I need to change. And yet it was like I couldn't ever bridge that gap to get there in the way that my brain was telling me to do it, but my body and my mouth and everything else just wasn't going there. So I left, and I was more upset about the fact that I did the thing I knew I wasn't supposed to do,
Right.
than whether or not I was going to get it at that point. I'm just like, no, this is not how this is supposed to go. But it happens to all of us. So.
It does, absolutely.
It's like a sporting event. You can have the best team out there, and just one day it just doesn't work,
That's right.
That's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
What's the favorite show you've been in?
I was thinking about this, and I feel like it's a tie. After I came back from the tour, I did Annie with Temple Theater, and then after that they hired me for Godspell. And the cast of that production was just, we were so tight. We were all living in the housing down in Sanford and just spending every waking hour together. It was such a good group. But recently doing The Herd with Honest Pint, I just, you can't ask for a better group of people to do a show with. And that one was a hard one to put away when
it was a great play, and your accent was just perfect. You know, I could think, oh, I need to hire Jess if I had to do a British accent.
Oh no, Simon is the whole reason.
Oh, Simon, yeah.
Because he would come by and he'd go, so it's this and not this. And I heard you do, and I was like, yes, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you think you have an accent, then you have it just right, then you go on YouTube and they'll say, well, the actor hit the O correctly in the beginning of the sentence, but at the end of the sentence, he didn't hit the O just right. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a good challenge. Like, I've never done anything like that before, so I loved it. I loved everybody in that cast and the production team.
Right. I loved the show.
Thank you.
Is there a role you still want to play?
You know, I think the only role, and this is going to sound crazy, the only role I ever really wanted badly was the crazy woman in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, and you played it. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, I've done that now. I think for me, it's about who I work with and not so much the show itself, because the experience is what I know I'm going to enjoy. So I don't really have a show that I'm like dying to do. I just have people that I'm like, yeah, let's work together again. Right. Love to work with you. Yeah.
That's fun. You know, years and years ago, I was in a play, the Octet Bridge Club, which was at Raleigh Theater. It's not that great a show. Like, it's not exciting. It's about these 8 sisters. And then Act 2, they're like 20 years older or something. Nothing really dramatic happens. Nothing really funny happens. But everyone that auditioned was somebody that I'd always wanted to work with. And so I figured, oh, I really need to get cast in this just so that I can work with all those. And every other of those 7 people, I just had a blast because I got to know them as people. And you know, we had a great rapport on stage, off stage. So I understand what you mean. Yes, it was a great experience because of that. You know?
And there's been some roles where I didn't click with me while I was reading it, but getting up there with great actors, and then it just clicked and said, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm doing this show.
Yeah.
Working with these people.
Oh, I know. So when you're on stage, Jess, what is the type of actor you hope to be playing against?
Someone who really listens. You know, I think that it's the easiest thing for us to do, and yet it's the hardest.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if an actor has planned a way that they're going to say a line every single time, then there's no variation. There's no real connection with that person because they know how they're going to say it every time. But if you've done the work and you are memorized, and then you just let it go and you live in the moment with the other person, it's trust. It's magic. It's what that connection can really be.
That's great.
It's why we do it.
That's why we do it. Yes.
We all have great moments on stage. Can you tell us one of your great moments?
Great moments. Gosh, I don't know. I played the lead in The Women, and that was a whole lot of lines. So I think just getting through each show, and the costume changes were insane. And I mean, it was a hard show. It was a long show too. I think it's to 3 hours.
Right.
And so I think playing Mary was a gift. You know, it was a really great opportunity. I don't know, that or just doing Wit with NCT and having the opportunity to be in that production with that cast, and with an actress who, because our previous actress had a vocal injury, she was out the night before we opened. So an actress come in the day we were opening, who had played it 6 months prior, and stepped in and learned the whole show. So that opening night was probably one of the most amazing experiences, because we knew we were relying on each other to help her and to just get through the show. And then after that, it was like she had rehearsed with us the whole time. It was crazy.
How did it go then? How did it go?
It was fabulous. You know, what's interesting is with equity shows, you can get fined for changing lines, or, you know, you have to stick to the script. Well, in the scene she had with me, she needed to lay down in order for the light change to happen. And she had forgotten, well, because she had just learned it that day. And so I added the line, "Lay down, please." And she did. And everything happened. And the stage manager came to me after the show was over and he goes, "What you did was great. No worries. Just never say it again."
Yeah.
Because we had her come, the playwright coming to see the show.
Oh.
So we couldn't.
Right.
So was that original actress, did she ever come back? The one who had the injury?
Not for the run.
Oh, how sad.
She's done like lots of other shows in the area, and she's an amazing actress. Just in that particular situation, it was on stage when it happened that like it popped.
Oh.
Vocal cord, and she had to go into immediate.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the funniest thing that ever happened while you were on stage? Or went wrong, I guess, while you were on stage?
So I tried to narrow it down. I have 3 quick ones.
Good, yeah.
We're doing Rent, and our Mimi ran into Roger's arms, and when she did, the table that he was sitting on, she ran so hard and jumped to his arms that the table collapsed underneath him. So we're all backstage going, okay, we have to use the tables in the next scene, so here's where we're going to take this one off, and we're going to take this one around to the other way. So we changed the blocking as soon as we heard the crash, and it was as if, I mean, the audience clearly knew that wasn't supposed to
Right.
But we didn't run into any other issues because there were going to be other people standing on that particular table. So we fixed it in the moment, and it was great. And just knowing that we have recorded the sound of her on her mic running into his arms, and then when they crash down, you just hear her go, "Oh." So that happened. We were doing Grey Gardens with Justice Theater Project, and Allison Lawrence was playing the mother in the second act, and she's basically bedridden the whole time. She has this song called "Jerry Likes My Corn," which is this 7-minute song. It's very strange, but it was enough time for all of us to get changed for the next big number. So Eric Morales is out there with her, and they're doing the scene, and all of a sudden he comes running around the partition, and he's like, "We skipped the song! We skipped the song!" Clothes and dressing, and like we have buttons galore, and I think we were still buttoning as we went out on stage for the next song.
Gosh.
And
What?
there was nothing you can't go backward.
Right.
Fantastic. Like, why did we go from the first verse to the third verse? What's happening? It was nuts. I think we all came off of that number like
Right. Oh my God.
Allison didn't tell us that story.
No, that's right.
And then the funniest one for me was I was doing 5 women wearing the same dress, and I was playing Frances. So of course I'm in the room in the beginning of the show, and then I hear them coming in, and I run under the bed. Well, we had these amazing dresses that had these giant butt bows. And you know, old beds have that sort of wire framing underneath it. During dress rehearsal, I would notice that it was harder for me to slide out from under the bed. Like, I'd peek out and I'd go, and like things would get stuck, and I'd be able to reach around and grab it and get out from under the bed. So now we're in show mode, and I pull myself out from under the bed, and I'm like, my dress is not coming with me. Like, so I push myself back, mouthing the lines under the bed, and I'm trying desperately to get myself unhooked. And the actors out there like now asking questions at the end of their line.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing because I cannot get myself unstuck. And so finally, we stayed in character, but they went under the bed and they helped me unhook myself.
Yeah.
So I could slide out, we could continue the show.
Oh my.
But it was either I was leaving the dress behind or
Right.
doing the show under the bed.
Or carrying the mattress off stage.
Right.
Two of my funny stories happened with Justice Theater in the same show, Grapes of Wrath. Susanna Huff was doing a scene with another actress, and there was a post, and she was having this confrontation with the character, and the post started falling, and Susanna just grabbed the post and held it while she did the scene.
Oh my.
And Thomas
Wow.
Mooney had done the set, but there was no crew backstage, so the truck was on a turntable, and I was asked to move the turntable in certain scenes and then come back and act. Well, one night I just moved it 180 degrees in the wrong direction. So the actors were facing upstage, sitting in the truck.
Whoops.
Wow. Wow.
Now, Jess, if you couldn't be an actress or a teacher, what's another profession you want to do in the theater arts that you're not doing now?
I guess what's interesting for me is, like, when I was a kid, I would have said an archaeologist. Like, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to go to Egypt and I wanted to explore the pyramids, and I was obsessed with Egyptian mythology. But I think just by you end up taking on odd jobs to be an actor, and what I've been able to do with Duke Med School as a standardized patient and learning about how communication is so important and empathy, I can't imagine not doing that type of work. Like, I guess I would, if I couldn't be on stage, then to continue to do what I do with the med schools and with the anesthesiology board I would be fine, you know.
That's great.
I'm sorry I got distracted because I was just thinking, hey, that's something I need to do when I retire.
Absolutely. It's a great gig.
Right. If you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what advice would you tell yourself?
I'd probably tell myself to take more risks. You know, I know that I am loyal to a fault, which is a good quality, but I think in some ways has cost me opportunities in the past. And so I think just telling myself to be bold and to take risks, and as long as I understand the consequences, you know, that sometimes those risks are going to pay off in a way that playing it safe won't.
Right.
That's great.
Well, I play it safe if I think it's going against a director. You know, I sometimes don't take a risk because the director wanted me to go a different way, and I said, well, I don't want, you know, I better not do that. So.
Are you talking about me, Larry?
No, you've always been great.
You have to say that.
What's the first thing you want to do when we get out of this pandemic?
Hug people. You know, I found that I'm okay being with myself, you know, that I enjoy watching movies or painting or writing, but I really miss connection with just a group of people sitting around and talking like we are now.
Right.
But
Right.
then, you know,
Yeah.
the fun of being in a show is either on the production team or in the cast is being with those people. So I miss the connection. I miss the community.
Mine is just wearing pants again.
If, you know, I liked the whole pajama pant deal. If only half of me had to be professional looking, that's okay.
I teach a couple of senior citizen classes, and they're in the morning. And so recently, one of them, when we were checking in, said, "Guys, I'm wearing pants with a zipper today. It's been months." It was just the cutest thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. This has been a blast. It's so nice to get to know you a little better. And yeah, I miss all the connections we have with people. And I have been rendezvousing with people outside in the RLT amphitheater because there's nobody there. It's enormous and you can totally social distance. And it kind of gives me a like, oh, I'm kind of in my home and kind of with somebody, you know. So, yeah, I look forward to when we can all get back. Yeah, for sure. But thank you. And yeah, thank you for everything you do for theater in this area because you're a big part of it. And Larry, thank you very much for.
I'm a little too energetic today, but this was a fun experience.
It was definitely great. It was great. Thank you, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jess.
Okay. Bye, Jess.
Bye.
Bye.